Boston has completely destroyed Dallas and will proudly hang banner number 18 in the TD Garden. However, it's not like nobody saw this coming. Despite some people hyping up the Mavs as favorites before the finals, it was obvious how this series was going to end. There's more than just one reason why Dallas didn't stand a chance against the Celtics, and we'll break all of them down in this video. Hello basketball fans, and welcome back to Hoop Vision. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Takes only a second, costs nothing, and we'll give you access to more basketball stories. Game 1 showed the difference between these two teams and the future of this series. Boston's three-point shooting was on fire throughout the entire finals, but that Game 1 performance was something special. They consistently hit from deep, stretching Dallas's defense to its limits, and neither Gafford nor Lively could contest the barrage fast enough. Boston shooters found rhythm early, and they've just kept it going for the rest of the game. This outside threat opened up the floor, making it tough for Dallas to keep up, and we all know how Game 1 ended, 107-89. That night, we all learned the Kristaps effect was real. Standing at 7'1" and with a nice shooting touch, he was a challenge Dallas's big men couldn't figure out. They weren't used to guarding anyone like him, and the fact this matchup was personal for him also added fuel to the fire. At one point, KP looked unstoppable. His ability to shoot from distance and protect the rim made him a key player for Boston despite being just back from injury. Jayson, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown both had nice games, scoring 16 and 22 respectively, but their defense and lack of turnovers was what set them apart. They didn't have monstrous performances on stat sheets, but their maturity showcased why they're considered the future of the league. Tatum actually surprised everyone by how smart his shot selection was. There were no contested low-percentage fadeaway shots he forces from time to time, just beautiful, flowing basketball. On the other hand, Brown shocked the world by playing one of the best defenses a guard could bring. That and his scoring ability formed a lethal combination Dallas had no answer for. Kyrie was down to just 11 points, Luka being the only guy making something happen on offense. Together, they led Boston with poise and skill, ultimately securing the championship. Boston just played too much team basketball against a one-man team, helping them make a statement in Game 1. However, we cannot go out with mentioning the brilliant performance by the Celtics bench. Hauser and Pritchard were amazing playing defense on Kyrie, suffocating him as soon as he tried to run the offense for the Mavs. Derek White and Jrue Holiday shot both around 44% from the field, and Horford added 40% from 3. When you have this many guys having their shot going for them, it's game over. Game 2 was supposed to be different after each team had taken a measure of their opponent. The adjustments were made, and quarter 1 started by Boston missing their first 8 three-pointers. Kyrie was scorched by the media after Game 1, so all the eyes were on him at this point. Dallas came out strong and with high expectations, largely resting on the shoulders of mainly Luka and Kyrie. Doncic lived up to the hype, delivering an impressive performance with 32 points, shooting a remarkable 44% from 3 and an efficient 57% from the field. Kyrie, on the other hand, struggled again, scoring only 16 points. He was a non-factor from downtown, missing all 3 of his three-point attempts. His overall shooting drought extended beyond the arc, as he went 0-8 in both games played. Irving's underwhelming performance put additional pressure on Doncic and the rest of the Dallas squad, and earned him a couple of words from Stephen A. Smith.
They view him not just as an opponent, they view him as a traitor.
The Dallas bench, while solid, fell short of the high expectations set for them. They provided decent support, but were unable to match the level of contribution needed to secure a win. The second unit's inability to step up in key moments highlighted the depth issues Dallas faced against a well-rounded Boston. Despite these setbacks, Dallas managed to put together an impressive run in the fourth quarter. They closed the gap and made it a competitive game, but Boston looked like they never lost control over the game. They hit 10 three-pointers, shooting just 25% from beyond the arc as a team. This efficiency from downtown was enough to keep Dallas at bay, and the Celtics' ability to win despite struggling with their three-point shooting showcased just how good they were in other areas. And a good way for you to earn easy money this offseason is with OddsJam. OddsJam is the top choice for data-driven sports betting, tracking over 260 sportsbooks in real time. With OddsJam, you'll become a profitable sports bettor using strategies similar to those employed by successful investors and traders. How does it work? Thanks to the OddsJam arbitrage tool, which identifies discrepancies in sports betting lines across the market, this tool finds arbitrage betting opportunities, guaranteeing risk-free profits by spotting these differences. You can even bet on both sides of the market and still make a profit. But that's not all. OddsJam also offers a positive EV calculator to help you optimize your bet sizes and a bet tracker to monitor your profits across all your sportsbook accounts. By using OddsJam, you'll bet smarter and more responsibly, leading to long-term profitability. Plus, they're so confident in their product that they offer a 7-day free trial. Ready to try it out? Use code HOOP for a 35% discount on your first month. And thanks OddsJam for the sponsorship. Core of Holiday Holiday, Brown, White, and Tatum combined for 83 points, which tells you enough about Boston's offensive flow. Holiday controlled the tempo, running the offense perfectly and making the right plays when needed, so Boston just took over and closed out the game. In the end, Boston's victory in Game 2 set the tone for the rest of the series, and it was all a downhill journey from there for the Mavs. As the series moved to Dallas, it was obvious Boston was a more superior team, but there was also a grain of hope that Luka and Kyrie could click for two godlike performances and pull off something close to a miracle. If they won Game 3, who's to say there was no chance for them to win one more, or that Boston couldn't have a bad shooting night? Unfortunately, Boston responded with Brown and Tatum's 31 and 30, and the rest of the team scored enough to overwhelm the Mavs. However, it wasn't just pure scoring that decided this game. The problem surrounding Luka is becoming more and more obvious with years spent in the league. He complains to the refs way too much. Luka is a player who utilizes his size and strength, as opposed to other point guards who rely on their quickness and explosiveness. He cries every time someone bumps him, and it's really frustrating to watch if you're a Dallas fan. He got fouled out in Game 3 just when it was being decided, and also complained about it at the press conference after. We're not saying the refs don't make game-altering mistakes, but in this case, the blame was all on Luka. The choice to challenge Jaylen Brown as he was leading the fast break was blatantly stupid. He's faster than you, in a better position than you, and you know there are 5 fouls next to your name with 4 minutes left on the clock. Let the other guys handle it. It wasn't like Luka was the last man on defense. There was both Green and Lively behind him waiting for Brown to make the drive. Unfortunately, it looked like all the built-up pressure got to Luka and he just crumbled when it came to decision-making. He was actually having a nice game offensively with 27 points, and despite shooting 1 of 7 for 3, there's a strong argument he could alter the game's outcome if he stayed on the floor for those 4 minutes. But again, he should blame only himself. Even the 5th foul he picked up was stupid as hell. Luka is the MVP type of player and can't afford to look so bad on defense. Sometimes it's like watching a disinterested kid waiting for the defense to end just so he can take the ball and run the other way. It's really sad because if the Mavs had got it down to 2-1, that could have been the defining moment of Luka's career. Instead, he got fouled out for the first time during the playoffs in his career, and Boston took that 3-0 lead, which as we know, no one has ever come back from. Game 4 was the way for the Mavs to avoid a sweep, and it was odd to say the least. There are people saying Boston threw this one to get to celebrate at home, and although that makes sense, it's just too big of a risk to do such a thing on such a big stage. This Celtics team is known as the choking one, so imagine what would happen if they actually became the first one to blow a 3-0 lead. All hell would break loose. What could support the argument for Boston throwing this game are the minutes allocated to bench players, and significant reductions in starters' minutes as well. Luckily for Boston's fans, this didn't have any effect on the series whatsoever, making Game 5 the last one of this year's NBA Finals. Everything happened exactly like everyone expected. The Celtics took some time to overwhelm the Mavs, and as soon as they established their lead, they never lost it back. Luka had a 28-12 game, but everyone else fell short of helping significantly. The Mavs just had too many turnovers and allowed 15 offensive rebounds to Boston, which made the difference at the bottom line. After having 21 points, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds in Game 5, Jaylen Brown was named the Finals MVP over Jayson Tatum. Their stats were very similar, but what probably moved the needle towards Brown was his efficiency and defensive impact. The man looked like a beast on the court for the entire Finals. Judging by how they played this year, it's not too much to say this might not be their first championship together. If the Celtics maintain their depth for a couple more seasons, JT might also get a shot at winning Finals MVP for himself. Right now, all that's left to do is congratulate them on banner number 18, an achievement they've been working so hard for the last couple of seasons. On the other hand, the Mavs will have to go to the drawing board and look for things to improve if they want to give Luka another shot at the title. That's it for today, dear friends. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comments below, what do you think of this year's NBA Finals? Thank you for watching and growing this channel. Make sure you don't miss out on more NBA stories by hitting that subscribe button. See you in the next one.